Join Kids Hut family. Did you have a good birthday, Tofu?
Yes, very much.
And look at all the lovely gifts you've got.
Yes.
Why? What's wrong?
Nothing is wrong, but I just thought Grandmom could have got me a better gift than the single rose flower.
Tofu, that's not a nice thing to say. You didn't notice her love for you that made her fly all the way across the country to be with you today.
Love? But that's not a gift.
Maybe you'll think differently once you hear the story of the Snow Queen. The Snow Queen. Once upon a time, in a small village lived two neighbors who were best friends too. Their names were Gerda and Kay. They loved each other a lot. As a symbol of their friendship and love, one day they both planted a rose plant each in their front yards. Every morning, they would get together and water their plants and take care of them. When winters came, Gerda invited Kay.
Why don't you come over in the afternoon? My grandma has promised to make us a cup of hot chocolate and tell us a story.
Okay, Gerda, I will come over after finishing my chores.
As promised, Kay went to Gerda's home in the afternoon.
Tell us the story of the Snow Queen, Grandmama.
Bah, there is no Snow Queen. Do you still believe in such stories? Little did Kay know that the Snow Queen did exist. And she had a magic mirror with which she could look at anybody. And right at that moment, she was looking into Gerda's living room where they sat. Doesn't believe in me, does he? I will send him my ice arrows that will turn him cold. All the love will be gone from his eyes and his heart will freeze over. And the Snow Queen sent her ice arrows towards Kay. As soon as they entered Gerda's home, they went straight for Kay's eyes and heart.
Ouch! My eyes! What's happening? They hurt!
What is wrong, Kay?
Ouch! My heart! It hurts too!
Kay, what's wrong? Are you okay? Suddenly, Kay's whole behavior changed towards Gerda.
Oh, stop being such a wimp, Gerda. Nothing is wrong. Get away from me.
Saying so, he shoved Gerda aside and went home. Over the next few days, he would give cold, mean looks to Gerda and would never talk to her nicely. He wouldn't even come to tend to the roses that they had planted. One morning, when Gerda was watering the plants, she saw Kay get into a carriage with a lady who was wearing a white gown. She had skin like diamonds and her hair was silver white. Gerda immediately knew that it was the Snow Queen. She decided to follow her, but the carrot just vanished into thin air. So she went to her grandmama.
Here, take this hand mirror and follow what it tells you. The mirror only tells you the truth.
Gerda took the mirror from her grandma and looked into it. The mirror told her to find the flower garden. So Gerda went looking for it. Meanwhile, once the Snow Queen reached the palace, she told Kay to make it his home from now on.
This is your home now. You will never leave here. And once your heart freezes over, you will be mine forever.
Back in the village, Gerda found the flower garden and entered it. The garden was full of the most beautiful flowers Gerda had ever seen. She fell in love with them immediately. But there was no smell of the flowers. Surprised, Gerda bent down and touched one of the flowers to understand if they were real. As soon as she touched one flower, the fragrances of all flowers returned and the flower lady appeared in front of her.
Thank you. You have returned the fragrance of my flowers. Who are you? I am the owner of this garden. I am the flower lady. Can you help me? Have you seen my friend Kay pass through here? He has been taken by the Snow Queen. Oh no, the Snow Queen. She is one who had taken away the fragrance of my flowers. I did not see Kay cross from here, but you should try the river outside the village.
Gerda thanked the flower lady and went to the river. There she saw a boat waiting for her. She climbed into the boat and it took her to the pirate ship. Aboard the ship, Gerda saw many pirates, including a girl pirate.
Hello, can you help me? I am looking for my friend Kay. The Snow Queen has taken him.
I don't know any Kay. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you, because once aboard the pirate ship, you can't go anywhere. You have to be here.
No, please, you have to let me go. Kay is my friend. I have to save him.
Friend, you say? Well, I have never had a friend. Okay, I will help you if you promise to be my friend.
Yes, of course. I would love to be your friend.
Okay then. Take my reindeer. He is the fastest reindeer in the world, and she knows where the Snow Queen's palace is. Gerda thanked the pirate girl and climbed on the back of the reindeer. Just as the pirate girl had promised, the reindeer had Gerda outside the Snow Queen's palace in no time. Gerda got off the reindeer and went inside the palace.
Kay? Kay? Are you in here?
What are you doing here?
I am here to take my friend back with me.
Your friend doesn't exist anymore.
Look at him, standing there in the corner. Just in a few minutes, his heart will freeze over, and then he will be mine forever.
Gerda turned to see where the Snow Queen had pointed. In the corner stood Kay. His lips were blue and eyes were steely cold. Gerda rushed to him.
Kay, it's me, your friend.
When Kay didn't reply, she reached out for his hand. His old friend's touch returned the color in Kay's eyes. Encouraged by this change, Gerda pushed on.
Remember all the times we had fun at home? And our roses that we have in the front yard.
There is no point in all this. His heart will freeze soon.
Hearing this, Gerda broke down and started crying. As she was crying, her tears rolled down from her eyes and onto the hands of Kay. As soon as that happened, Kay looked up at Gerda and smiled.
Gerda, my friend, you came for me.
This is impossible. Nothing can ever turn my curse over.
She tried to pull Gerda away from Kay. And that's when Grandma's mirror fell out of Gerda's pocket. When the Queen looked into it, it spoke to her.
Snow Queen, you have been mistaken. There is one power stronger than your curse, and it is the power of love.
Hearing this truth, the Snow Queen started crying and soon dissolved in a pool of her own tears.
Oh, now I feel so terrible, Tia. I think I have not been fair to Grandmom.
Well, you still have time to make things better, Tofu.
Yeah, you are right, Tia. I will go to her and apologize right away.
Don't forget to give her a kiss and a big hug. Good morning, Tofu.
Good morning, Tia.
Are you all right, Tofu?
Yes, but I'm worried about my friend Sam.
Who is that? And why are you so worried about him?
Sam is new to our school. He joined my class last week. I like him very much. But some other boys have been lying about him, saying that he is not a nice boy.
Oh, that's bad. And are you sad because he is your friend?
Yes, I want people to see how good Sam is. And I don't know how to make it happen.
If Sam is a good person, then I don't think you have anything to worry about, Tofu.
I don't understand. Why?
Let me explain it to you with the story I know. The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, a young prince wanted to get married. So he went around the world looking for the right princess to marry. Alas, he found none. Something or the other was always amiss in all the princesses he met to be a true princess to his people. One stormy night, after the prince came back home, he and his family were having their dinner. When there was a commotion outside the castle door, the queen went to see what was going on. "What is the matter, guard?"
There is a young girl at the door, Your Highness. She says she is a princess."
Intrigued, the queen went to see the princess. When she got there, she was surprised to see a young girl drenched from head to toe. "Who are you?"
I am a princess. I was passing through when the storm and lightning spooked the horses and they dragged my carriage into slush and mud. My men are still with the carriage trying to repair it. I have walked many miles to reach here.
Nobody who looked at the young girl could believe that she could ever be a princess. She didn't look anything like a princess. With her hair disheveled and clothes and shoes full of mud, she looked like a poor peasant girl. "You are welcome to stay here, O princess. My maids will prepare a royal room and arrange for a hot bath and dry clothes for you. Do join us for supper once you feel better. Come on in."
Thank you very much, Your Highness.
By the time the queen returned to the dining table to join her family, the prince had been informed about the stranger at the door and the queen's decision.
"Mother, do you really believe that she is a princess?"
Her appearance betrays her, but her eyes shine with courage and there is humility and grace in her behavior, just like that of a princess. However, we must wait till tomorrow morning to know whether she is really a princess or not. Saying so, the queen retired from the dinner table and went up to the room that was being prepared for the princess.
Your Highness, the princess is in the bath. We are preparing the bed for her.
Very well. Fetch me 20 of the softest mattresses that the castle has to offer.
Yes, Your Highness.
Once the maids had left, the queen took out a pea from her pocket and placed it right in the middle of the princess's bed. When the maids returned with the mattresses, she ordered them to place them on the top of the pea. That night, the princess slept on her special bed. But she had a sleepless night. She kept tossing and turning all night long. In the morning, she joined the queen for breakfast. How are you, my dear?
I am well, thank you.
But you look so tired. Is something wrong? You must tell me.
Forgive me, Your Highness. I do not wish to sound like an ungrateful guest, but I haven't slept all night. My bed was really soft, but something kept poking me in the back, and I have bruises all over.
The queen smiled happily because she knew that the girl in front of her was a true princess. Only a real princess who has lived all her life in comfort can feel a small pea kept 20 mattresses below her, and only a kind princess would not mention her discomfort unless asked to do so. Son, she is the one you have been looking for. Soon the prince was married to the princess of his dreams, and they happily lived in the kingdom where all the people loved and respected them both a lot.
Wow, Tia! No matter where the princess would have gone, people would have always recognized her because of her behavior.
Exactly, Tofu. And the same thing applies to your friend Sam. If he is a good person, soon people will be able to see that in him. And if he's not, people will be able to see that also.
Yes, you are right, Tia. I don't think I have to worry about him anymore. I am sure everyone will see his truth soon.
Hey, there you are. Hey, Tofu, wait up. What's wrong with you? I have been waiting for you for so long, and here you are, just walking past me without even saying hi?
I'm sorry, Tia. I didn't mean to be rude to you. Sometimes I just can't understand my friends.
Okay, calm down and tell me what happened.
You know my friend Megan?
Yes, the shy one with the curly hair, right? The one who's always helping you out with class notes and assignments.
Yes.
Isn't she wonderful? I think you should also help her out sometimes.
Well, that's just what I did, Tia, and she is so upset with me now. She forgot her English assignment at home. So I did some of it for her and asked her to complete it and submit it. That's it. She got so offended. She hasn't said a word to me since then. And she won't answer me if I say something to her.
Oh, that's strange. But I don't think she is the only one who is uncomfortable with people try to help.
What do you mean?
Let me tell you the story of the Shoemaker and the Elves. Once upon a time, there lived an old shoemaker. He was an honest man, but with very limited money. He made really nice shoes, but could not earn enough for himself and his wife. One night, he was in his workshop when his wife came to him. "What are you doing, dear?"
I have this last piece of leather left. I am just cutting it out. We'll make a pair of shoes out of it tomorrow.
"Is it the last piece? What will we do? There are no grains in the cupboard, no wood for the fire, and now no more leather."
Don't worry, my darling. Something will work out.
The old couple finished their housework, and before they went to sleep, the shoemaker put the leather on his workbench. The next morning, he got up early to make a pair of shoes out of the leather he had kept. To his surprise, instead of the leather, there lay a beautiful pair of shoes. He picked them up and observed them closely. They were made out of the same leather that he had put out the night before. He called his wife.
Dear, come, see this.
"What a lovely pair of shoes! They are just perfect."
Yes, look at the stitches. They are so tiny and spaced so perfectly. But I didn't make them.
"You didn't? Then who did?"
I don't know. Why would someone help us like this?
I can't even think of anyone who can make such good shoes. You make the best shoes I have ever seen, and these are better than yours too.
I agree. Anyway, let us not get carried away. Let us put them in the display window and hope that we can get some money for them.
Just a few minutes after the shoemaker had put the shoes on the display, a wealthy merchant stopped outside his door. He paid a good sum for the shoes and bought them. The shoemaker was very happy. He went and bought food for the house. With the remaining money, he bought 2 pieces of leather. When it was night, his wife called out to him. "What are you doing? It's time for us to sleep."
Yes, dear. I am just cutting out these leather pieces so I can stitch them into shoes tomorrow.
The next morning, when the shoemaker and his wife came down to the workshop, they were surprised to see 2 new pairs of shoes on the table where he had kept the leather pieces.
Would you look at that? These shoes are even more beautiful than the first pair. Let me put them up for sale and thank whoever is helping us out.
Soon after, the shoemaker had put up the 2 pairs of shoes for sale. Other wealthy men of the town came and bought them. They paid a hefty price for them. the shoemaker bought more food supplies and leather from the money he got. Again that night, he cut the leather and kept it to stitch it in the morning. The next morning, he saw that the leather had been made into shoes again. And as soon as he put them up for sale, they were bought in exchange of good money. This went on for many days. The shoemaker started doing well. His business prospered and his shop would always be full with customers. One night, as they were closing the shop, the shoemaker had an idea.
I cannot stop thinking about those who help us. Why don't we hide behind the cupboard tonight and see who it is?
Yes, that's a brilliant idea. Let's hide and check out. After some time, they saw two elves enter the workshop through the crack in the window. They headed to the workbench and started making shoes from the leather kept there. Although they were making these lovely shoes for the shoemaker, they had no shoes on. They wore torn shirts and very thin tights. They did their work carefully and left through the window again.
Oh dear goodness, such kind elves they are. We must repay them.
Yes. When you go to the market tomorrow, get me some nice cloth. I will make clothes for our little helpers. The next day, the shoemaker got many fancy cloths and good leather, while his wife made beautiful clothes for the elves. He made soft shoes for them. When night fell, they placed the gifts for the elves on the table. They also laid out delicious food and treats for them. Then they hid behind the cupboard again and waited for the elves to return. When the elves came, they were overjoyed to see the gifts and the delicious food. They wore their new clothes ate stomach full and went on to make shoes for the shoemaker. Once they were done, they slipped out of the window.
I am so happy to see our little helpers happy.
Yes, and they looked so wonderful in their new clothes, didn't they?
Tonight let's keep some more dinner ready for them. What do you think?
Yes, dear. That night, the shoemaker and his wife again kept dinner for the elves. But tonight, they did not hide behind the cupboard. Instead, they went to sleep. The next morning, when they came to the workshop, the shoemaker and his wife were disappointed to see that the dinner plates remained untouched. Even the leather that the shoemaker had cut out and put on the table remained as it is.
I wonder what happened to them.
Maybe they will come tonight?
Yes, let's hope so.
The shoemaker and his wife again kept the food for the elves, but were disappointed in the morning as the elves did not show up in the night. They waited for the elves many nights, but they never returned. Do you think they overheard us?
Perhaps they did. Elves are very shy creatures. They usually like to be left alone.
What will happen to the shop now?
Oh, it will be fine. I will miss my little helpers, but I will manage.
The shoemaker went back to making the shoes himself. His shop continued to prosper, but he and his wife always remembered the elves and remained thankful to them for their help. So you see, Tofu, some people are willing to help but are too shy to take help from others.
Yes, Tia, I understand now.
Also, it doesn't mean that you have to be angry with them. You can be thankful to them in your heart.
Thank you, Tia. If you wouldn't have shared this with me, I think I would have lost a very good friend. Now, when Megan tells me she doesn't want my help, I will respect that more.
Good to know that. Now let's go home. I am very hungry.
Will you help me to do my homework, Tia?
Tofu, it's dinner time and you haven't completed your homework yet? I hope you know that your teacher will be really angry.
I will do it after this cartoon, Tia. But please help me so that I can finish it fast.
You have been watching TV all day. You should get up and do your homework first.
My hand has been hurting since morning. I'm giving it some rest. Also, dear sister, will you please get my bag and pencil box from the room?
Excuses and more excuses. He should know his priorities right.
Where is my book? I can't find it here. Did I forget it in school? What will I tell my teacher in school?
You should be more responsible, Tofu. You are a big boy now. Anyway, complete the rest of your homework at least now and be more careful next time onwards. TIA-TOFU, let me tell you a story. In a land far away lived a hard-working and kind trader. Mostly he traded in salt. He also had a horse that was very lazy and always avoided work. The trader used him to carry sacks of salt from one town to the other.
Here, let me load these sacks up and let's go to the town across the river to sell this salt. I am so tired today. Why do I have to work every day? I wish I could sleep throughout the day. But no, I have to carry these loads of salt and move. Come on, horse, start walking. Cross that bridge. Until then, I'll pack some food for myself.
The horse was crossing the river. Suddenly, he slipped and fell into the water. As he was carrying sacks of salt on his back, the salt got wet and dissolved in the water. So when the horse got up, the sacks on his back were lighter. The horse thought to himself, "Wow, this seems to be a good idea. Every time I dip in the river, the salt would dissolve and my burden could be less. I must try doing this more often. I hope Master is not watching." When the master reached the town to sell the salt, it weighed just half of what he loaded. Thinking it might be his miscalculation, he sold whatever salt was left and returned home with his horse. The next morning, he again loaded his horse with the sacks of salt and started to pack his food. The horse yet again started walking before him and made it to the bridge.
I must try the dipping trick again before Master reaches here.
The trader got really confused as the sacks started weighing lesser every time. The horse purposely started slipping into the water every day so that the sacks became lighter. One day, the trader followed the horse. And hid in the bushes. To his surprise, he noticed the horse's new trick. Oh, that's so cunning. I must teach this lazy horse a lesson soon. So the following day, instead of salt, the trader filled the sacks with cotton and tied him to the horse's back. Out of his new habit, the horse purposely fell into the river. Oh no, no! What is happening today? What is going wrong? How are these sacks getting heavier? Oh, my back hurts! What? This time, as the sacks were filled with cotton, it soaked water and became heavier. The horse dipped again and again in water, thinking to drain the salt off somehow, but all went in vain. He somehow managed to get up and cross the bridge. He sat on the ground and panted as the sacks had gotten really, really heavy. The trader laughed at him and said, "Horse, I am your master. This is your work. I work very hard and worship my work. I don't make excuses or find tricks to fool others and avoid work. I must teach you to never repeat this and avoid your work." The horse learned his lesson and never tried to avoid his work again. What a wise trader! Right, Tofu? He taught the lazy horse a good lesson. Come, let me give you the big bitter medicine for your hand. But hey, I can see it's totally fine now. Maybe you have forgotten about the pain.
Tia, I never had any pain. I just wanted to sit and watch cartoons. I was the lazy horse today. I am sorry, Tia. I'm really worried about my teacher scolding me tomorrow.
Here, take your books, Tofu. I also was the trader today. I just wanted you to learn a lesson. Now you should promise me that you will always do your work, and yes, I will help you with your homework.
Oh, thank you, Tia. Please, let's finish my homework quickly. I don't want to be lazy at all. I will always finish all my work before doing anything else. I promise you that.
Hey Tofu, do you want to come with me? I just saw my piggy bank has enough money to buy new books and toys for the children at the orphanage. You can help me buy and distribute the goodies.
You are going to give away all your savings to other children? How can you do that? Don't you want to buy something for yourself?
Tofu, we can't always think of ourselves. Sometimes we have to help those who do not have the same means as us. Let me tell you a story of kindness. This is a story from a long time ago in Nottingham, England, when Prince Richard ruled the country. His younger brother, Prince John, was a wicked prince who took care of the state while the king was away for wars. Prince John was unkind to common people of Nottingham and had no consideration for the poor. Under his charge, the rich became richer while the poor became poorer. The poor had no savior to save them other than Robinhood, or the hooded thief as he was popularly known. Robinhood had a trusted companion called Little John. Robinhood would rob the rich merchants and the prince's caravans that carried the huge taxes collected from the poor as they crossed the Sherwood forest, which was the home of Robinhood, on the way to the prince's treasury. And he would distribute the loot amongst the poor. His generosity earned him the name Prince of Thieves amongst the common people, and also many rewards that were announced by the sheriff for his capture. But this did not stop Robin from doing his good deeds. One day, when Robin Hood and his friends had robbed the prince's caravan again, the prince called the sheriff of Nottingham to the palace. "This is the last time Robin Hood has humiliated my men and me, Sheriff. What are your troops doing? Why haven't they caught that thief as yet?" "We are doing everything, Your Highness. I assure you, we will have him soon." "You should, otherwise someone else will be punished." the sheriff made a new plan with his men. He decided to announce an archery competition to be held in Nottingham, and the winner would be announced as the best archer in Nottingham and also win a kiss from the maiden Marian. One day, Robin Hood's friend Tuck came to visit him.
Have you heard of the archery competition that the sheriff has announced for tomorrow? Yes, we have, Friar. And the men and I think Robin shouldn't go to it. It is a trap laid by the sheriff. All of England knows that Robin Hood is the best archer by far. Robin doesn't need to go and prove anything there.
You worry too much, Little John. Lighten up. We will go and have some fun tomorrow. And to ensure that no one recognizes us, we'll wear disguises.
And so the next day, Robin Hood and his friends wore disguises and went to the competition. Just as Robin Hood had predicted, no one was able to recognize him. Soon it was Robin Hood's turn to shoot the arrows. He took the first shot at the bird and hit bullseye. The crowd cheered for this unknown archer. Then he took another arrow and shot it again. This one too hit bullseye. The crowd cheered louder. The cheering caught the sheriff's attention, and he turned to see what the matter was. By now, Robin had drawn his third arrow and took a shot. It too hit the bull's eye. When the fourth arrow also did the same, the sheriff realized something.
That is no stranger. That is Robin Hood. No one can shoot 4 arrows in a row like that. Grab him, men!
The whole crowd broke into a frenzy as the sheriff's men arrested Robin Hood.
Off with his head!
But Little John moved like a lightning flash and grabbed the prince and put a knife to his throat.
Release him immediately!
The sheriff's men had no choice except to let go of Robin Hood. The Prince of Thieves and his friends hollered and made their way out of the archery field, but not before Robin Hood climbed the audience tower and stole a kiss from the maiden Marian. Back at the Sherwood Forest, Robin Hood and his friends got together and celebrated.
You were right, Robin Hood. Today was a lot of fun. The sheriff had this coming. I am sure you surprised Maiden Marian too. Well, not as surprised as the prince is going to be when he finds out that we stole 4 bags of gold from his treasury during the sheriff's archery competition. Everybody laughed heartily.
Wow, Tia, this is such an inspirational story about being selfless and helping the helpless. I am going to change my ways from now onwards. I am so proud of you, Tofu. That is such a great decision. Keep doing good deeds. For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.